Is it on? Oh, okay. Thank you for being here for the first press conference of the NATO Chairman of the Military Committee, Admiral Cavo Dragone. Please put your phone on silence, and when asking questions, state your name and your outlet. First of all, the Chairman will have some opening remarks.
I didn't know it.
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you for being here, and thank you for waiting. Because, I mean, it has been the longest one I've ever had in my life. This is my first press conference as chair, and I'm pleased it comes at the close of such a substantial and forward-looking session with the Chief of Defense. After nearly 4 months in this tenure, I can confidently say that I have found NATO healthy and stronger. Stronger in purpose, but in coordination and in resolve. That strength is built on shared responsibility and, frankly, a renewed sense of urgency. The wake-up call from the Ukraine war and the one from the US administration, which ask all of us to shoulder more the burden, are among the signals that have not gone unanswered. Today we see a NATO that is more proactive, more focused, more committed and more steadfast in investing in deterrence and collective defense. A tight, solid alliance where the responsibility must and will be shared in a fair way for a stronger approach to security, stability and peace. As we gather in the context of a world full of uncertainties, it is also important to remember that focusing too much on uncertainty can sometimes become an excuse for inaction. Yes, we are living through a time of shifting geopolitics, where new challenges seem to appear almost daily. But there are plenty of certainties in global security that we cannot ignore. On top of the list, the aggressive expansion of Russia, the destabilizing presence of China in strategic areas, terrorism, and the threat of cyber attacks, without forgetting the competition in the Arctic and in space. These are clear and present danger and challenges. We need to ensure that our focus on the unknown doesn't blind us to the known threats. Our adversaries are not standing still, and they could very well attempt to exploit what it might be perceived as weakness, but is actually one of our core strengths, the array of perspectives that we bring to our discussions. Our different points of view are and must remain a source of resilience, never a vulnerability to exploit. This is why, as I said at the beginning of my mandate, my priority is to work constantly to foster cohesion and resilience. This military committee meeting was a vivid demonstration of NATO's unity and our commitment in tackling the challenges of today's security environment. Let me share a few highlights. Strengthening collective defense. We review the implementation of the deterrence and defense of the Euro-Atlantic area, the so-called DDA, family of plans. These are not just strategies on paper, but the spine of NATO, sharpening our readiness to respond to any threat in any domain or dimensions. Warfighting transformation. With input from Allied Command Transformation, we advanced discussion on multi-domain operation, digitalization, and the kind of command and control that we ensure we fight and win as one. Support to Ukraine. We reaffirm that supporting Ukraine is a strategic necessity, beside a moral duty. Helping Ukraine prevail is an investment in our own security and in the rule-based international order. Finally, I want to say that this meeting was not just about NATO military matters. It was about our broader security ecosystem. Tomorrow, the foreign ministerial meeting in Antalya will further advance discussion about NATO priorities, a clear sign that the alliance is moving together, determined as ever. And at the same time, the EU Military Committee meeting will take place, an excellent example of how NATO and EU are working side by side, timely, ensuring there is no discontinuity, nor overlap or competition in our approach to security. I'm proud of the work done and grateful to all the chief of defense who contributed, especially those who travel long distances to be with us today. I look forward to taking your question. Yes?
Yes.
Hi, Admiral. I'm Antonetta from Politico. My question is about defence spending and what would be agreed at the Hague summit. So yesterday, the US Ambassador Whittaker specified that, you know, the US number is 5%, but it doesn't all have to be howitzers or tanks. It can also be cybersecurity or mobility, infrastructure. Did you discuss that today, the sort of 3.5% on specific, you know, on real defense spending and 1.5% on, you know, innovation, industry, etc.?
Okay, I heard that too. Because I'm part of the public opinion too. But we didn't talk about this today. As a matter of fact, just try to figure that. As military, we are what we call the end user. So the approach is more generic. We define, what was the threat, what we are looking for. Then we draw and approve the plans. From the plans, we got what we need to fulfill and to make the plan executable. And then whatever we need, is what we expect to be provided to us. 5%, 3%, 2%, whatever. I just can't, speaking about number, we don't speak about number, but I just can tell you that something for sure, 2% is not enough for what we need, for what we, identify of what are the needs in terms of personnel and equipment to face the threat through plans and capability targets. So, what we are asking for is capabilities. And then with that, we will be ready to face the threat. And we are not just stuck to numbers. The only thing I can tell you that 2%, which was something that we have been talking about up to, months ago, it's not enough for anybody. And there is a general increase, in defense spending, which is the message that we got and that we are honoring all the nations. Somebody quicker and somebody else just following, but everybody is just heading in that direction. Yep.
Buongiorno Ammiraglio, parlo in italiano. Innanzitutto mi felicito per la sua nomina e mi complimento per la sua attività importante anche per un paese come l'Italia. Avrei due questioni. La prima, a livello di opinione pubblica si ha l'impressione che gli Stati Uniti vogliano disimpegnarsi in parte dalla NATO, quindi vorrei sapere qual è la sua posizione, la sua risposta a questo proposito. Poi dal punto di vista anche legato a questo eventuale un po' disimpegno o leggero ritiro degli Stati Uniti, c'è l'esigenza di costituire un pilastro europeo di difesa nell'ambito, se possibile, della NATO. Ecco, a livello militare penso che l'esperienza ci sia, non sia un grosso problema questo a realizzarlo. Mi chiedo se però a livello dell'industria lei vede, la volontà di fare dell'economia di scala sui sistemi d'arma e di fare un'industria europea, una politica di industria europea della difesa che sia effettiva e in termini anche accettabili. Grazie.
If you don't mind, I will answer in English so we can share with everybody. The game is, from the answer, you must go back to the question. Okay, that's the challenge. By the way, first part, we don't have any indication of any kind of disengagement from United States. We have been talking at a higher level than mine. With the Secretary General and the U.S. President, they have been talking, and there is no sign, no indication, no anything, just giving us the idea that they won't disengage. The thing is that probably there could be a reorientation toward some other direction because one member, let's talk it generally, one member of the alliance realized that there is a threat coming from somewhere else. So it is normal for a mature and a strong alliance like we are, that this nation is going to face this kind of threat, reorienting some assets there, and totally with flexibility and totally normally, the alliance is just, readapting and just taking care of what could be eventually the gap left by the ally who's just looking in another direction or going to another direction. Also because, let's talk it clearly, Indo-Pacific, whatever it occurs there have some effect on our area of responsibility and vice versa, of course. So I'm expecting that if there could be this kind of reorientation, we will react and we will just rebalance everything, and the other nation will take charge and just cover and fill the gap that the one who's directing his energy somewhere else is doing for the benefit of the alliance too. This is one point. The EU as a pillar of the alliance is already metabolized as a concept. The EU is already going in that direction. I'm foreseeing that, the EU nations, 27 over 32, will just get some capabilities which will be beneficial for the alliance too. It was a kind of a single set of forces, also for the capabilities could be the same story. So I'm pretty positive that the European Union is heading in that direction. European Union got let's call it the cold shower or the wake-up call from the US administration, so they react, quicker to get to the point quicker. We don't have to forget already in 2025 they already had a RDC rapid deployment capability operative. So they are 500 soldiers ready to be redeployed wherever they want to, even out of area or responsibility of Europe. But I think that the process is running, and of course there has been an acceleration due to the Ukrainian war and to the request of our ally, the transatlantic request to take more responsibility of their own European defense. So this is one. Industry. Up to now, I think this is the weak side. The weak side of the situation. Industry doesn't have already changed their mind because they should feel themselves and be active part of the defense from the whole of society. They are part of the society. So since this is a whole of society approach, I'm expecting that they change radically their way of seeing. Sometimes we spoil them, we as military spoil them, we just accept something that probably it was not perfectly fit for our requirement in the past, and we need to change our attitude too, but radically they need to be part of the system. They need to accept probably to be quicker, be more responsive to our operational requirement, and be cheap. And these are the 3 points that from the military point of view we are looking for, and sometimes they are weak on this. Yep.
Cristina?
Cristina Giuliano, Asca News, sono italiana come lei, però gliela faccio in inglese anche se il mio inglese non è buono come il suo. I'm asking you to resume and these were the first months for you at NATO. So how do you see the future of our alliance?
I can answer just watching the tendency that I saw during my first 3 months, because I started on January. The alliance is strong, is getting stronger and stronger, because as you saw, the latest event, I'm speaking the war in Ukraine, just got ourselves even tighter if we need it. The answer to the threat has been unique. there has been no difference in how we do react to, for example, to the aggression of Russia to Ukraine. And probably this has been a gluing factor to get the cohesion at this level, which is really a really good one. And cohesion is the central gravity of the alliance, for example. So, I mean, the 32 nation has been moving really totally tuned up. And I think that in the future, because we don't have to lower our guard, even if, thanks to God, someday there will be peace in that part of the world. We don't have to lower our attention and our guard, because I mean there will be a lot of things to do, and just our responsibility is not just for today, but is for tomorrow, for the future generation. So we must be fit, ready, and we are working on that and stay at that level, which means keep on working for the future. But I tell you what, the maturity and the strength and the will of the alliance is really strong. And I think that some way the war in Ukraine help us in getting to this, I mean, good mood.
Yes, one more question. Yes,
Antonio. We are tough.
Okay, and the last
Hi,
one there. Yes.
Admiral, it's me again.
Hi.
You mentioned the Arctic, and you mentioned space. So my question is, as chiefs of defense, did you discuss the situation with Trump's, US President Trump's desired acquisition of Greenland? Because Denmark, 2 days ago, decided that it will call a meeting on Arctic security with the northern countries. And also, did you discuss the Russian buildup of military along Finland's border? And if so, what does NATO think about that?
That's what was not an issue discussed in this meeting. I can tell you whatever is my opinion on this. But I mean, the Arctic, high northern is very important for NATO. It's a theater, an operational theater, very important. I mean, there's just climate change, and also, I mean, just consider that NATO had the need to add a specific joint force command in Norfolk, which will be in charge of the Arctic region and also of all the communication between the transatlantics. So I mean, coming from the Americas to the Europe and NATO area of responsibility. So Arctic is a very important theater of operation, and we pay a lot of attention to it. And as far as the nation, I mean, we are an alliance. In this alliance, 7 over 8 nation of the Arctic Arctic Circle or whatever, I mean, are in NATO. So I mean, it is the interest of the NATO as an alliance that all the countries belonging to the alliance to find a solution on anything, because I mean that's something we can grant it within the alliance. So I don't see any major problem. Yes. That was the last one, right? No, one more. Okay, where are you? Okay, I can see you. Yeah.
In July 2024, NATO adopted a new policy on women, peace, and security, and among others, recommend that we prevent or we protect women and girls who are the first victim of war, especially through sexual violence. This is aligned with Resolution 1325, which is 25 years this year, anniversary. I would like to know what progress have been made in the year since this new policy, and how does the MCCS advise NATO on implementing that policy?
I mean, NATO policy, I mean, remain unchanged. So I mean, whatever it was decided at that time, I was not here, but at that time, is still in place. I mean, we as an alliance decided to cope totally with 1325. So we are just on track, and everything is going forward. There is no change in our posture, in our I mean will to fulfill the 1325. So I mean, there's no question about that.
Well, how do we implement that policy? How do NATO implement that policy? I'm sorry.
Well, I think we have I mean, an entity, an office who is following this issue, and they are just going forward on what it is supposed to be done. And I think that things are going smoothly, and I don't see any change on attitude, on any change of mind on that. So I just want to be sure that we will be complying with 1325 totally, as we decide to do on July 2024. Anything else?
Okay. Thank you very much for attending the conference, and see you next time.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry for the delay, but I'm victim like you are.